The American Revolution was about freedom. It started because American colonists felt mistreated by the British king and parliament. The colonists believed they deserved the same rights as British citizens living in England. They were upset about taxes imposed without their consent. The cry of "no taxation without representation" echoed through the colonies. Tensions grew between the colonists and the British government. The Boston Massacre, where British soldiers fired upon unarmed colonists, shocked many. The Boston Tea Party, a defiant act of protest against tea taxes, further inflamed the situation. Colonial leaders from each colony formed the First Continental Congress. They hoped to find a peaceful solution with King George III. However, their pleas were ignored. The king and parliament saw the colonists' actions as rebellion. With growing anger and distrust on both sides, the stage was set for war. The colonists began forming militias to defend themselves. This marked the beginning of the American Revolutionary War, a fight for liberty and self-determination. The war began with battles at Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts. Colonial militiamen known as Minutemen clashed with British troops. While the British Army was stronger, the colonists were determined to fight for their freedom. The Second Continental Congress appointed George Washington as commander of the Continental Army. Washington, a Virginian planter with military experience, faced the daunting task of shaping a ragtag group of soldiers into a disciplined fighting force. The early years of the war were difficult for the colonists. They faced shortages of supplies and experienced defeats against the well-equipped British Army. However, they also achieved victories, such as the capture of Fort Ticonderoga, a key British outpost. In 1776, the Continental Congress issued the Declaration of Independence. This document, written primarily by Thomas Jefferson, declared that the 13 colonies were now independent states, free from British rule. It was a bold declaration that inspired the colonists and changed the course of history. Life during the war was difficult for everyone, especially ordinary people. Families were divided and many men were away fighting. Women took on new responsibilities, managing farms and businesses. Food and supplies were often scarce, and many people suffered. Despite the challenges, the colonists' determination did not waver. They continued to fight for their freedom, enduring harsh winters, disease, and hunger. The winter encampment at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, became a symbol of their resilience and sacrifice. The tide of the war began to turn in favor of the colonists with the victory at Saratoga in 1777. This crucial victory convinced France to formally ally with the Americans, providing much-needed military and financial support. The alliance with France proved decisive. With French naval support, the Continental Army, commanded by General Washington, trapped the British Army at Yorktown, Virginia, in 1781. This decisive victory forced the British to surrender. The Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783, officially ended the war and recognized the independence of the United States of America. The 13 colonies had become a new nation, founded on the principles of liberty, equality, and self-government. The American Revolution had a profound impact on the world. It inspired other revolutions and movements for independence. The principles enshrined in the Declaration of Independence, especially the idea that all men are created equal, have continued to inspire people around the world to fight for freedom and justice. The American Revolution was a defining moment in history. It marked the birth of a new nation and the triumph of the human spirit in the face of oppression. The legacy of the American Revolution lives on in the United States and beyond, a testament to the enduring power of freedom and self-determination.